talk radio station.
This is the Business Breakfast
On Dubai Eye 103.8.
Where we are still talking water this morning, looking at it now from an insurance angle. We're very pleased to be joined on the line now by Avinash Babur, who's managing partner at AFIA Insurance Brokerage Services, better known as InsuranceMarket.ae. Yes, this is Alfred. Avinash, good morning. It's nice to speak to you.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Right, let's put this in some kind of context for us. How big a deal could the last 24 odd hours be in terms of insurance claims?
Yeah, look, from the videos that have been going around, from anecdotal coverage, we know that it's pretty much unprecedented. It looks like a lot of cars have been grounded in the middle of roads. So the immediate priority is kind of getting the cars back out away from the roads. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be very, very busy in terms of insurance claims.
Okay, well, let's start with cars and work our way up, if you like. What do policies normally cover when it comes to weather events?
Right. So you have a natural perils coverage that could be there in your car insurance policy, but it isn't always there. So when you're buying your car insurance policy, first and foremost, you've got to look for natural perils extension. Now, with regards to that, it doesn't mean that you can recklessly drive into puddles of water or try to switch on your engine when your car is submerged. The principle of loss minimization does apply when it comes to insurance. You've got to be careful and not make things worse. So that's something to be wary of.
Who would get to decide that, Avinash? Because a lot of people either won't have experience at all, and I put my hand up here, for driving in these kind of floodwaters, and will just be doing whatever they can do to get out of the water. Who decides if they're minimising loss or not?
Yeah, you're right. So look, generally speaking, up until now, because rain damage hasn't been what it has been like this year, insurance companies have tended to try and support most claims unless there is a clear, visible scenario of reckless driving. But, now, given the frequency of claims increasing, some insurers have actually resorted to just saying, look, as long as the car is parked, we'll cover flood damage. But if someone's actually driving into water and that causes an accident, we're not going to cover that. So it's still a bit of a gray area. Nobody decides for sure, but you've got to read the wordings of your policy and make sure that, in any case, if you are driving, you shouldn't be driving through puddles. And in such times, you've got to try and avoid driving as much as possible. You've got to try and work from home or whatever the case may be.
Are you suggesting that there's a lower chance of claims being honoured if cars are actually moving rather than parked? I mean, a lot of people are not going to have a lot of choice about that.
Look, I mean, it's a tough one. I think the insurance system is under a lot of pressure this year. Whilst we are trying with our clients and our insurance company partners to, have as much cleared off as possible, the system is under pressure and there are a lot of claims to deal with. It's been pretty much the worst year UAE insurance companies have ever seen when it comes to car insurance. So, we need to be very, very careful here because on the other hand, the concern is that, car insurance inflation will continue to ramp up and, increase prices. So as far as consumers are concerned, don't drive unless, you absolutely have to, and certainly don't be adventurous with these puddles. As we could see yesterday, a lot of cars were just stranded in the middle of roads.
When you say it's been a bad year for the insurance industry, Avinash, what do you mean?
So the kind of rains we've had this year have been significantly worse from an insurance claims perspective than previous years. This has increased claims. And then, as you know, insurance companies buy reinsurance. Reinsurance costs have started going up. And, anecdotally, some insurers have expressed challenges in being able to renew their excess of loss treaties. And so, it's all an ecosystem. And, ultimately the premium that you pay for car insurance needs to be able to fund the cost of all the claims. And at the moment, unfortunately, it looks like that's a bit of a challenge.
What are you suggesting there? Are you suggesting that claims might be harder to make or less likely to be honoured because the industry's had a bad year?
Yeah, look, I mean, generally speaking, contrary to, what some people may consider popular belief, insurance companies try to pay out as much as possible, because it's a good marketing mechanism for them, right? Nobody wants their claim rejected. But when you have a situation of, crisis, then that's when more policy documents start getting opened up and more questions get asked. So what we have been trying to communicate to all our customers is that be extremely careful. We're still seeing a lot of stuff on social media about reckless driving, people driving straight into puddles, and some of them actually turning up and making insurance claims. And that's where the concern is. It's not when there is a genuine case of an accident, or somebody's car getting submerged in the basement or at a parking, but it's more about people driving recklessly when they don't have to, speeding through puddles and things like that. So that's where the concern is. So whilst insurance companies and brokers like us are keen to support clients as much as possible, there is that concern that there is an unprecedented number of claims, and so we're trying to pass the message out that don't drive unless you absolutely have to. Don't just take it for a given that the insurance company will certainly cover your water-related claim, no matter how you drive or what you do.
What kind of level of calls, and I realise that you guys are the platform here at InsuranceMarket.ae, you're the broker, as it were. But what kind of level of interaction did you get from people contacting you yesterday about issues with vehicles?
Yeah, sorry, just to clarify, it's InsuranceMarket.ae.
Sorry, yes.
We've received a lot of calls. It's immediately just about roadside assistance, and that was a real challenge yesterday because even the roadside assistance vehicles weren't able to access a lot of parts of Dubai. So which is why we see cars stranded in the middle of roads all across Dubai and the UAE. But mostly, initially, these are all about roadside assistance. I think as of this morning, we started receiving a huge number of calls around the actual incident and having that covered at workshops. That's also where we are trying to manage client expectations because there will be a huge backlog of repair work at workshops as a result of what happened yesterday, and so sourcing parts, just having the space to repair vehicles is going to be a bit of a challenge. So we're trying to work with clients to make this all go away as seamlessly as possible.
Oh, look, we appreciate your frankness there speaking to us this morning. Avinash Babur, founder and CEO of InsuranceMarket.ae, joining us on the line this morning to talk about car insurance. We appreciate your time.